Individually adapted wheelchairs enable people with particularly severe physical disabilities to actively experience their world. It's practical when a company like Moso can manufacture its wheelchairs to fit perfectly in its in-house workshop. Every disability is different. This means, for example, that some people can no longer move their entire body and can only perhaps still navigate with their head. For this, we then do head controls or blow controls, for example. We had a patient who could no longer move at all. She had no motor function in her entire body except in her cheek. We developed a control system for her that at least allows her to position her chair using only her cheek. We basically do everything in-house. So from conception to milling to actual customization, it all happens here within our team, which allows us to adapt all products to the customer's needs. For example, we have a customer who no longer has legs or arms, and for him, we have now designed a chair that can descend to the floor. One Moso customer is Mehmet Karayigit, who has brittle bone disease and can only move around laying down. His new wheelchair gives him a completely new freedom of movement. In addition to many extras such as the sun and rain protection, especially the floating function of the COSEAT fly module contributes to the fact that he can reach destinations much more independently and flexibly. The floating function is, for instance, when you drive down somewhere and then the wheelchair remains in the same position, that it doesn't tip upwards, that the wheelchair then still remains straight. And the wheelchair can change its position at will. You can decide for yourself when, where, and how you want to change it. Nikolai Kaiser explains the COSEAT function in more detail. The thing about our COSEAT module is that they can be tilted in all directions. That means, for example, that they can tilt forwards, backwards, sideways, but also diagonally. And no other product on the market can do that. At the same time, this also enables automatic slope compensation. For example, if you're going uphill or downhill, it can automatically compensate for the slope of the environment. At the same time, this also makes it possible to recreate a natural feeling of sitting. This means that people who are no longer able to reposition themselves, for example, can automatically recreate the entire experience with our COSEAT by having the module move to different positions at periodic intervals and thus compensate for pressure. You can see lying wheelchair users very rarely like this. I'm sure there are many people outside who don't even know about this wheelchair. This wheelchair has changed my life. I am very happy with the wheelchair.